afternoon light because it makes me look so good. It's so much better. Ah, it's perfect. 4:42 p.m., which is actually 3:42 because we have daylight savings time, right? So cow time, it's 3:42 in the afternoon. And I was just thinking about this whole situation, about finding my friend, finding this place, finding Brian. And actually, I can say pretty much anything I want to about him because he never listens to these videos. He never watches. He's not watching, so I can say all kind of stuff. I love you. I think you're sweet. I think you're really cute. I can say anything I want to. He won't listen, you know. So, and even if he does, he wouldn't care. So, this is why I have to say I love this guy. Now, did you see that? There was a fly that went right through the screen. There's this big, fat, juicy fly in here. I haven't decided yet to try to open the window and shoo him out or catch him with a paper cup or something. Anyway, when I decided this is enough, I have to leave this house, when I was in that place where there were towers and piles of junk everywhere, and every time you walked, and if you didn't pull your elbows in, you knocked something over every half an hour, you know. When I decided it was time for me to jettison myself out of there, I went on the internet and I found this guy. I'm going to say I did this, but I'm not doing anything, guys. Nothing is being done here by me. This is the way it was supposed to be. And it was really interesting because when I saw his picture, I said, this is the guy. Just like that. And it was the first person I contacted. Isn't that weird? Now, I didn't stop. I kept going, but I had the awareness somewhere deep within that no need, because everything's okay. And this person, when I saw the picture, it was like, boom, instant recognition. Instantly I knew this is a person. And sure enough, that's how it worked out. And within 3-4 days, I was at his place. And almost left. I almost left 2 or 3 times because I keep freaking out. Because my Christian work ethic keeps getting me messed up. Like, you know, I'm worthless if I'm not producing. But I am producing. I'm producing a heck of a lot. Just the thing that I'm producing is not something that the economy is buying right now, which doesn't mean that they don't need it, okay? But there is a higher law in operation, thank goodness. And I don't want to get too proud here, because otherwise I'm going to get taken down a few notches, but because that's how it works. But okay, there was that thing I wanted to say. Oh, the reason I love Brian. He is so positive about everything. Everything he's positive about. Almost everything. 99%. And yesterday he came home, just give you an example, and I said something about, I don't know, you know, okay, oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. The last 2-3 days, I was going again through this cycle of some kind of psychic vulnerability, and I was feeling a little depressed or agitated, and I felt that I'm worthless. I started feeling that worthless feeling, and I started feeling, and that always comes up when there's an identification with the past. In other words, when the memory supersedes the feeling of self in my system, that memory takes over. And what's the memory? The memory is just this box with all these pictures in it of me falling down. You know, falling down, falling down, falling down. Did you ever see that movie, Falling Down? That was really awful. I only saw a few clips from it. I was like, no, I'm not going to watch this, because it's just too much like real lives of some people that I know. So anyway, I just found this guy. I came here, and the reason I love him so much is because he is so positive. And yesterday I said something because he came home. Oh, that was what I was telling about. I was going through this period of, again, vital repulsion, but it was like self-repulsion. And the thing that kicked it off was when I said one day to Brian, I said, oh, Brian, you don't know anything. And then I was like, my God, how can you say that to anybody? But especially in this situation, when this person who's absolutely a total stranger has taken you in and is paying for everything and is not putting any pressure on you whatsoever to do anything. And then I was like, oh my God, how could I say that? And what I realized was that we got into a mental conflict with each other because his mental energy and my mental energy just got tangled in each other, and he was saying, I'm right, and I was saying I'm right, and he's saying no, I'm right, and I'm saying no, I'm right. But it was a good-natured thing. But then the vital gets involved, and the vital, what is the vital? That is, well, it's hard to describe, but that's the place where you're emotionally involved in what's going on, and you get like upset about stuff, and it's a vital characteristic is it's critical. So the critical thing came up and it went, oh, Brian, you don't know anything, right? And then after that I was like, oh my God. And the thing that came after that was guilt. So, and this is the interesting thing, and that's why I said a few days ago in one of my videos that Jesus said, judge not that you be not judged. And what he meant by that, few people understand. What he meant was, don't throw that vital judgmental energy out, because it will boomerang on you and it snaps back. In other words, like the rubber band, when you stretch the rubber band and you let go of the wrong end, and it comes back and hits you instead of hitting the person or thing you were aiming at. Okay, like that. What happened was this vital energy escaped my form through the mouth and went out and went to attack him and say, that he was stupid, and came back and smacked me in the face with, boy, you are the lowest of the low. And so, but the thing that was really interesting was that now I'm seeing that cycle going on. I knew somehow that it was just a cycle that I was going through, and all I have to do is just kind of be calm and just hang on for a couple of days, and it will pass. And it did. And that be calmness that I was feeling is something that I've been admonished to do many times by my collaborator, and hadn't always been able to follow because I didn't have the experience of what it does. But what it is you just endure calmly. Those are two words, endure calmly. And it's something that in our movement we hear a lot, and people are like, oh, endure calmly. It's like, yeah, right, But when you do it, big difference, okay? Instead of flip out time, all you do is like internally your system is just turning, but you're not getting identified. You're seeing the thoughts come up. The thoughts are self-loathing, self-depreciation, hatred, and all this stuff that's coming up in your system. And often it comes up and attacks something outside of yourself. But when you redirect the energy back towards the inside, in other words, you turn the searchlight around and go, okay, what's in here? What is causing me, unquote, quote unquote, to do this? Okay, quote unquote. So for the last 2 or 3 days, I've been seeing that vital energy's been there. I wake up in the morning and I realize, okay, I'm having these vital kinds of dreams. You guys, if you're interested in this stuff, you'll learn about it at some point. So I would know that in the night the vital energy was still there, and then wake up in the morning and have this first thought or feeling that you have in the morning is kind of a self-hatred, kind of a self-loathing kind of thing, like, oh gosh, I'm not so hot kind of feeling, and you know that the vital is still in control. Well, yesterday it was losing its control. And so yesterday Brian came home, and the whole time I'm thinking, oh God, this guy's got to kick me out at some point. He's got to throw me away. He's got to get rid of me because look what I'm doing. I'm biting the hand that feeds me, etc., etc. But every time I was saying that to myself, quote unquote, I'm not really saying anything, but the thoughts are coming up in my mind. Then I was reaffirming and saying, this is just self-loathing, okay, and it's not going to help anything. Feeling guilty about what you did is not going to help anything, because you are not in control. You're not doing this stuff. It's being done through your form. And the reason it's being done through your form is because you didn't watch out and stay in the right place. And the right place is in the heart energy. If you go into the mind, if you have mental interchanges with people, and then you go, for God forbid, into the vital and have vital interchanges with people, that you have to stay away from that. You have to stay within the heart energy. When you do that, you don't offend anybody, and you're not offended by anybody. Okay? But I wasn't able to do that. So then I knew, okay, so that means that this chunk of vital energy is coming up and my system is getting purified. Okay, and this is what we call jnana. Jnana leads you to this point. Okay, here we are, 10 minutes and 10 seconds.